You'll hear him on WIBX overnights on, what's the name of the program? It's Nori, Coast to Coast. Of course, he's someone that believes that if your doctor is prescribing cholesterol medicine to you, that the doctor should be reported and placed in jail. And very interesting. In studio right now is Dr. Joel Wallach. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for your hospitality.
And first of all, you and Andrew, you can explain. And Kelly, you're responsible for bringing him in, right?
Yes, that is true.
All right. And Andrew, you want to just give a little background on that?
This is Kelly Sprague. She's the club manager at Paragon Athletic Club. And Kelly has been doing a lot with, not only positive psychology, but different nutritional things for the members. And she's really worked hard to get Dr. Wallach here because he's a hard man he travels all over the place, so his schedule is very tight. So with that, I'll let her explain how she got him to come in.
So let's do that just quickly. Yep.
Sure. Just through my own personal research, I was on the internet looking for a solve for some hives that I was getting chronically for about 6 months in a row.
Yeah.
No relief from doctors, just pharmaceuticals. And so I started researching on the internet. I came across many testimonies of people using Dr. Wallach's 90 for Life products and said that they were getting phenomenal relief from many different chronic illnesses. I did some further research. I listened to many of his interviews, and I learned about the company YOUNGEVITY. I've been taking the products for about a year now. Within 2 weeks of taking the products, my hives went away after having them every day for 6 months.
Wow. No other side effects with what you're taking at all?
No side effects.
Wow.
No side effects. Also, really quickly, I had a torn meniscus in my knee. I went and I was supposed to have surgery. That was the only protocol from the doctors. And he swears that if you take his OsteoFX, which is part of the 90 for Life program, that you can heal your knee, your tears in your knee. My knee is better.
Wow.
So with that,
I just had my meniscus. That was
Yeah.
what I had done.
Yeah.
So with that, I just went the extra mile, and instead of trying to explain his theories, I thought, let me just invite
Bring
him
him
to
in.
Central New York,
And you did
which
that.
I did about 6 months ago, and they gave me a spot with him this week, so I took advantage of it. I wanted the information to be shared, and people can make their own
And that was held
assumptions.
last night, by the way.
That was held last night,
So we're
yes.
going to get a chance to really hear what he has to say here today. Dr. Wallach, you born and raised in Missouri, attended University of Missouri, a bachelor's degree in science of agriculture. So you're a veterinarian. We're a veterinarian for 30 years, right?
Well, I have a degree in agriculture. I have a degree in veterinary medicine. I have a postdoc in comparative pathology. I'm a pathologist and do autopsies in animals and people. And I'm a primary care physician as a naturopathic physician licensed in Oregon and California.
Got it.
So I kind of
Okay.
cover those 4 areas.
Okay. So tell me what's different. Let's get into the issue of cholesterol medicine.
Okay.
I, by the way, went off mine about a month and a half ago
Got to
because
feel better.
well, I was hearing these reports about how kidney failure is becoming a problem without any warning whatsoever if you've been on them for any prolonged period of time. So I thought, well, maybe it's diet that'll solve the problem, and that's what I tried to do anyway.
Well, it comes down to the fact that the cholesterol issue is the biggest hoax ever perpetuated against human beings. The demonization of cholesterol started in 1901 when the German Navy went to a biologist by the name of Wilhelm Norman, a chemist at the University of Berlin, said, look, we need a synthetic smokeless diesel engine lubricant for German submarines. By 1904, he'd accomplished that. After the First World War, they didn't need it anymore. He sold his patent to a British soap manufacturing firm. Couldn't sell the soap, which was a good soap, couldn't sell it because everybody's making their own soap in the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
They sold it to Procter & Gamble. They couldn't sell the soap because everybody's making their own soap. So they decided to turn it into a cooking shortening by the name of Crisco. And they couldn't sell the Crisco because Grandma liked her lard, butter, cream, and eggs. And so the Crisco people go to big advertising firms and say, what do we do? They say, well, you've got to demonize what she's doing and saying that cholesterol and saturated fat and the lard, butter, cream, and eggs will clog your arteries and kill you and kill her loved ones and her kids. And she's got to go to heaven, which is the Crisco with church music and butterflies, and they'll make the switch. And people made the switch. And it's been the devastation of humanity because cholesterol is an essential nutrient. When you're deficient in cholesterol, you get low T, low testosterone, you get ED, erectile dysfunction, you get menopause at age 35 instead of 70, you get adrenal exhaustion, you're just tired all the time no matter what you do. And worsley, when they came out with statin drugs to help you lower your cholesterol, in addition to eating egg beaters and non-dairy coffee creamers, you get Alzheimer's disease because 75% of your brain weight is cholesterol.
And I think I'm confusing my cholesterol medicine with my acid reflux. That was the kidney issue. So it's that any of those any of those types of medicines
Nexium
for
type of thing.
Nexium, any prolonged.
PPIs, proton
that's
pump
where
inhibitors.
the kidney issue comes from. But bone issues, hearing really the disintegration of people's joints and bones for prolonged use on these statins. Not to mention just aching bones. Some people I can't even take them because I have pains and I feel terrible when I take them.
How many hours a day do you spend out in your Speedo in the sun?
Usually about 6 or 7 hours
A day, right?
Yeah, I mean I'm out there.
Okay, so the problem we have is that the nutrients that are necessary to prevent and reverse obesity, diabetes, musculoskeletal stuff like arthritis and osteoporosis and bone spurs and so on are no longer in your food. Very simple reason. And, of course, that's the piece that everybody needs to know. Why is it we're getting epidemics of all these diseases? It has nothing to do with genetics. All birth defects are caused by nutritional deficiencies, not genetics. And it's because of technology. Technology always has an unintended consequence.
Right.
Well, with us, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the universal fuel was wood around the world and in the Pacific Islands, and they learned that they can use the wood ashes as a fertilizer for their gardens. Well, it turns out that wood ashes are not ashes, they're minerals. They're 95 to 98% minerals that the tree sucked up out of the ground. You burn the wood, the minerals don't burn. Put it in the garden, your gardens flourish, but the plants also suck up the minerals. So unbeknownst to the people who were fertilizing their gardens with wood ashes for thousands of years are getting all these minerals from the wood ashes. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street, New York City, Thomas Edison pulls the switch on the first commercial electric generating plant. 10 years later, all towns and cities and municipalities in the industrialized world converted to electricity from wood. No more wood ashes. That began our downward spiral for health because nobody knew they were getting nutritional minerals from the wood ashes. They don't know it today. You ask environmentalists and professors of agriculture and doctors, why are we so minerally deficient? Bad agricultural practices.
Yeah.
No, it's because we went to electricity.
Right.
And it's a billion times worse than that because with all these dams, there's almost 1 million dams around the great rivers around the world for electricity. We've shut off the food supply to the ocean. The ocean's dying. We don't get the spring floods anymore to renew the silt in the soil every year. All that's gone. So if you don't supplement, you're doomed.
I do have to ask, though, and fairness, I got to ask. If you go to the 1800s, you were quoting when with electricity, 1880 something or other. To today, we really don't have a degrading health. It's just the opposite. We live longer. We are healthier today than we've ever been at any time in the world.
That's not true.
That isn't true?
No, sir.
Life expectancy is
It's going down very rapidly now. It went up. It peaked in right after the 1940s, after the World War II.
I see the statistics, then they're lying to us. Then are you telling us they're lying to us?
Well, it depends on whose statistics you're looking at.
Right.
You're reading stuff written by hippies, or you're looking at stuff written by scientists. Okay. And so when you look at something like National Geographic, nobody can argue with National Geographic. They're neutral as far as politically. They just look at science.
Right.
The top 20 longevity cultures are all third world cultures that have no electricity. They have 40 times 100 as we do. They have 100 per 250 of their population. We have 1 per 10,000. Okay? They live much longer than we do.
Okay.
And they have no technology. None. They have no electricity. They don't have any indoor plumbing. They're still using wood for fuel, putting the wood ashes in their gardens. And by dumb luck, they live in places that have all these nutrients in the soil. Now, nutritional minerals are like gold. Gold doesn't occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. There's gold mines over here, 100 miles over there is a gold mine, but it's not uniform. Same way with iron and copper and zinc and magnesium and manganese and so forth. All these nutritional minerals are found in whirls and swirls like chocolate and chocolate ice cream. And these top 20 longevity cultures on Earth, according to the National Geographic, this is where they have the most minerals in the soil. They use the wood ashes, the trees sucking the minerals out of the soil.
I do have to go back, though, to the life expectancy. Our life expectancy today is far greater today worldwide, especially in the United States, and it is not.
Sir, we just came out, the World Health Organization said 3 months ago that we rank 43rd. Americans rank 43rd in the world when it comes to longevity. 42 other countries live longer than us, and the top 20 are third world cultures that still use wood ashes.
But if you compare it to what Americans used to live, what our life expectancy used to be and what it is today, there's about a 30-year gap in there.
Well,
sir.
yeah, it used
And
to
in
be we lived to be
fairness.
35 to 40.
Correct,
That's
yeah.
because we're dying of plagues and bacterial and viral infections. Well, now we
Right,
have clean
right.
water and food inspection. We've taken care of the infectious diseases.
Okay.
We've done a very good job with infectious diseases. But when it comes to diabetes and high blood pressure and
And
heart
health
disease
and,
and kidney failure,
okay, all right.
we are an abysmal failure.
Yeah.
That's our problem.
And the other thing on cholesterol, and I understand there are side effects with all these cholesterol medicines, but at the same time, we're being lied to.
That's correct.
Okay.
Cholesterol has nothing to do with cardiovascular disease. It was a sales campaign to sell Crisco. Get over it.
I know you've. I'm really not that hung up on it, but I'll try to get over it if you'd like. Let me break, and we'll come back and talk more to Dr. Wallach in studio here. And I appreciate the fact that you're here.
Thank
but
you.
you have to understand, I have to ask
I understand.
questions, right? And
I've
be
been doing
somewhat
radio for 23 years.
somewhat suspicious. So. Dr. Joel Wallach was a veterinarian, and now, but it's so much more than that, pathologist, somebody who studies animals and human beings, and today has an option, a different option, and a different take on the way we should be taking care of ourselves, and actually a product. So talk about the product that you have, and then we'll get into this a little more.
Well, if I may, just 2 sentences before I do that. I've spoken to the United Nations twice on this subject at the UN building. I'm going to speak again twice this year because as countries go from third world to first world, within 10, 15 years, they're broke financially because of medical cost. And again, the thing that makes me different is I have a degree in agriculture. I'm a veterinarian. I'm a pathologist. My one big project, I've done many big projects, but my biggest one was 20,000 autopsies with the National Institutes of Health. And that book, 1,200 pages with all the chemistries and everything, is in the Smithsonian Institute, is a national treasure. Okay? And so I just want to let you know that I'm not just saying these things without some experience. I don't think your
Understood.
doctor's done 20,000 autopsies like I've done.
Right.
On that one project.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done totally some 38,000 autopsies. Another big project was 1,700 in kids under the age of 10. 1,700 autopsies of kids under the age of 10. So when I speak about these things, I'm speaking from published experience. Okay.
Right.
And so, again, the question is,
Youngevity.
oh, Youngevity, the company. Oh, well, I realized that I had something very important in 1977 when I discovered the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis. I was working at the Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah.
Emory University, and I'd already done like 30,000 autopsies by then. I ran into this first case. I'm sure people had seen it before, but they didn't recognize it. I recognized it as cystic fibrosis right away, did all my due diligence, found 24 other baby monkeys that were in the same colony but not related to each other at all had cystic fibrosis. So I knew
Yeah.
it was an environmental problem. Tracked it down. They had stored blood samples from the parents every month for 6 years. It took me 2 weeks to figure it out. They were deficient in a single mineral. And gave these other monkeys that mineral, and they all got cured. Okay? And so got it published. And, of course, they fired me because they said, well, I said cystic fibrosis isn't a genetic thing like doctors think. It's a simple nutritional deficiency, easily reversed. I can reverse the genetic marker, which is found in 17 other diseases that aren't related to cystic fibrosis at all. And they fired me. He said, Wallach, you're saying outrageous things.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so I went back to school and became a physician to treat these kids. Well, I realized I'm getting so many people. I'm getting 500 new patients a day back then. I'm getting 10,000 a month now. And so I couldn't deal with this by myself. Most doctors in a clinic will see 20 to 35 patients a day, and they're busy.
Right, right.
I'm seeing 500 a day. So I had 3 nurses, and we're running around like crazy. And I had to come up with prepackaged programs for simple things like diabetes and arthritis and fibromyalgia and Alzheimer's disease, kidney failure, get people off of dialysis back to normal lives, high blood pressure, you name it. I could get rid of 900 different diseases using nutritional programs and prepackage them. So the nurses, if you walk in with diabetes, they know what to give you. They don't even need to see me. I see the really hard ones. Obesity, I deal with the people 600 pounds and above. If you need to lose 50 pounds, the nurses take care of
Yeah,
it kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay? And so this is how I work this. Well, I had to even get bigger than that. And so I started a company and taught wonderful people like Ms. Kelly here who are interested in people, who are interested in their health. They take this information and they give the information to the individuals, and we could cut the cost of medical care in America by 85-90% right now, because we prevent, for instance, you have bone-to-bone arthritis in your knees and your hips. You don't need knee replacement surgery and hip replacement surgery. My program, within 90 days, you'll regrow your cartilage and go back to a normal life. Okay? And so, of course, there's this rift between me and the medical system because
Right.
they make their living by doing
So
the surgeries.
why is that though? Because if
They make their living by doing surgery.
right.
They have mortgages and 3 ex-wives they have to pay payments to, and all that kind of stuff, and 3 kids in Harvard and so on.
Right.
And so they require money, and there's no oversight to the medical trade. They're the only industry in America that has no oversight. Nobody checks their billing. Nobody checks their accuracy in diagnosis and treatment. As a result, they're the number 1 cause of death in America. They're the number 3 cause of death in America. Not according to me, according to the Center for Disease Control.
Okay. Can you just turn that mic? Yeah. Okay. So someone's asking about your product, and what do you see? How much is it? How often do you have to take it?
Yes.
And what about proof?
Okay, sure.
Can you offer proof?
Yes. Well, first of all, I've written 14 best-selling books. I've got the big one, 1,200 pages in the Smithsonian Institute, National Treasure. And again, you have to appreciate my work is based on $100 billion worth of research, not my own. I've done $100 million worth of research.
I don't. To me, that doesn't matter mean anything. What
well, you asked me proof. I'm giving you proof.
Let me cut to the chase.
Yeah.
To me, proof is these 10 people over here had a condition of whatever.
Okay.
Pick a
Let's
condition.
say obesity.
And your product cured 9 of them or 8 of them. Those are pretty good
I'll
numbers.
cure 12 out of 10.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Let's
There you go.
talk about obesity.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
We're the number 1 obese nation in the world. We followed this theory, failed medical theory, that obesity is due to eating too much and lack of exercise.
Yeah.
No, obesity is really due to a deficiency of a single nutrient. There's a certain class of nutrients,
Yeah.
and any one of these nutrients in that class, if you're deficient in any one, you're going to gain weight. There's 3 of them. If you're deficient in any one of those, you're going to be the 300, 400, 500, 600-pound person. And so
It does seem that way. Like some people seem to be destined. They're born to be a certain. No matter what they do,
No.
they can't. That's not true.
No.
Okay.
Okay, and so there's many reasons why they could be deficient. They could be deficient because it's just not in their diet. They could be deficient because they're supplementing, but they can't absorb it because they have a gluten problem. Their intestines are damaged, not efficient in absorption. Usually when people are 200 pounds overweight, they have a gluten problem. You got to get them gluten-free so they can absorb things. Their intestines heal. You give them the 90 essential nutrients, and within a week they start losing a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. And within, you're talking, they can lose 90 pounds in 3 months. I get people who lose 352 pounds in 7 months.
Wow.
600. I get the 600-pound people, and so obesity is very easy to deal with. And you say, how long do you have to take it? Well, this is not like an antibiotic. You get bacterial pneumonia. You take an antibiotic for 2 weeks. You kill the pneumonia. You don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, how long do you need oxygen every day for your life? How long do you need water every day for your life? How long do you need these 90 essential nutrients every day for your life? So
Sure, that
our
makes
motto
sense.
is 90 for life.
Got it.
Okay, and so the reason why we're deficient is because we have electricity. We're not putting wood ash in our gardens anymore. We've dammed up the rivers so we don't get the silt every spring during the spring floods. And so you have to make up the difference by supplementing. Now remember, I'm a veterinarian and a physician. And in veterinary medicine, we learned this 100 years ago because we don't have health insurance for animals.
Right.
And a farmer would go out of business his first year if he didn't give his animals all 90 essential nutrients, those little alfalfa pellets every day. And this gives them maximum production of eggs and milk. It gives them 100 cows are being fed. He gets 100 normal calves. None of them are preemies and have to be in incubators for 3 months. None of them have birth defects, no Down syndrome. They all get it.
Right.
And when I was doing these autopsies, I'm telling you, every birth defect is caused by nutritional deficiency, and we realized in the animal industry, so we eliminated birth defects by giving the animals nutrition. Now, women in America do not take prenatal vitamins until they miss 3 periods. The embryo is already damaged. Okay.
Do you think they should be?
They should be taking
before they're pregnant.
They should. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called prenatal, not afternatal.
Right. Right.
And so they're supposed to be. And of course, I've done 9 lawsuits against the FDA and federal court, prevailed every time. One of which was getting folic acid put into prenatal vitamins to prevent spina bifida. That's me. Okay, I'm the one that did that. Okay, I've gotten selenium. My 9th one here, I got in the trace mineral selenium put into baby formulas you can buy off the shelf in pharmaceuticals and grocery stores, which only had 95% of them only had 3 minerals in the formulas. You need 60 minerals, and babies were like 57 short. When you're short in the selenium, you're likely to get muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, and SIDS.
Got it.
Every baby that dies of SIDS was on a formula. There's no breastfed babies that die of SIDS. Okay, so
is that a fact? I mean,
that's a
is it
fact.
zero?
It was a big study done by India.
Yeah.
And we're talking millions of people.
I want to just say it's important to me because you said a few things that are in complete contrast with normal medicine, with what our doctors tell us.
Well, they're all criminals.
I
That's why
understand
only dead
that.
doctors don't lie.
So my question would be, can you? I want to go back to that 8 out of 10,
Yeah.
7 out of 10,
No problem.
9 out of 10.
No problem.
Can you produce those numbers that
Yes.
did you take 10 obese people and your formula was able to cure?
Well, they'll
How many of
lose.
them?
I can't use the cure word. It's illegal
Yeah.
to use the cure word.
Okay.
They will lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day.
Okay.
Okay. Again, every month I get 588-pound women who are 5 foot tall.
Right.
Butterballs.
Yeah.
And
We showed a lot
within
of them
7,
on his
we show the
slides with
pictures before and
Got
after.
it.
A lot
Okay.
of those last night.
Yeah.
And
We
then
deal
the
thousands a
cholesterol
year.
is the other issue. I mean,
Yes.
people are being told by their doctors, you are at risk for health disease. I mean, we just came out of the
Heart disease, yeah.
heart disease. Just came out of the radiothon, the heart radiothon, where we're told that it's this cholesterol buildup that is
Doctors
causing,
are lying to you.
Okay.
Well, can you get in it? Because I asked during the break. One of the things we screened for was the good cholesterol versus
Right,
bad.
right.
You're not saying all cholesterol is good, right? Not
I'm
all
looking-
cholesterol.
Okay, well,
looking-
stop. I've got 3
Okay.
questions coming at the same time.
I'm just looking for numbers.
Okay, let me give you a number.
This person's been cured. This person's been cured. This person's been cured. That's the only data I care about. So you can tell us all the stuff, but I want to know numbers.
I can reverse
Because
100
because
okay.
without numbers, let me finish. Without numbers, you're making great charges against people who we trust every
I know,
single
that's a
day. with
mistake.
our-
You trust the
I
crook.
understand that with our lives, and I can't help but go back to life expectancy has grown tremendously in the United States over
Because
the
of
last 100
antibiotics
years.
and food
Whatever
inspection.
the reason is,
Not
but
doctors.
at the end of the day, I think the only thing that people can get, if you're going to say don't take cholesterol medicine anymore, then you have to offer up evidence, proof that it has to show specifics of people who have been cured of this.
Sir, first thing you have to appreciate is that cholesterol does not cause cardiovascular disease. Cholesterol is not the cause of plaque in your arteries. Get over it.
So you're saying that's not true?
It was
What
a
we're being
sales
told
No,
is
it's not true. It was a sales campaign to sell Crisco. Okay.
I know you told me that
Yeah,
story.
well, that's get over it. Okay.
Okay, I'll try
Now-
to, but I want you to get over my question and
No.
give me the facts.
Well, I'm gonna okay.
Specifics of people who have been cured. I'm asking a specific question. Please give me. I've done a study, and these 10 people were cured. If you can show me that data, I only care about the data here. Show me, and then if
You missed my
want,
presentation
then-
last night.
Then if you want to denounce our doctors
Yes.
and
Been
medicine
doing it for 40 years.
if you want to denounce that and you can offer the proof,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all over it. I'll give you free commercials for your product till the cows come home.
Okay.
But
You're
I need
on.
data and proof.
Okay, we're going to give you copies of each of my 14 best-selling books, which have all the references.
Okay.
Okay. And you better start winding up on the ads.
May I interject
We'll
something?
do this again. I mean,
Yes.
we'll
No,
do
no,
this
you're
again.
going to do
absolutely.
advertisements every day till the cows come home.
Okay, I told you I would do that.
Okay, you're
I
going to
will
get a
do
copy
that.
of every one of my books.
But your book.
No, it has all the references
Okay.
alluding to what you're talking about.
Statistics.
Statistics, yes.
Data that shows people have been saved by your
Oh, of course.
product here. Okay. And by the way, somebody asked how much is it?
Okay.
May I
I want his
Okay,
answer.
cost.
Yeah.
Okay, this is outrageously expensive. I have to admit that. It's $3 a day per 100 pounds of body weight.
Okay.
Starbucks is $8 a day. Okay? And so to get rid of diabetes in 30 days when you've had it for 30 years for $3 a day, I think that's pretty reasonable. Okay?
So it's again $3 per day
Per 100 pounds of body weight.
per 100 pounds. So it's
So let's
$6
say you
a
have a
day
little
if
old
you're
lady
200
grandma
pounds.
who's 120 pounds. It's going to cost her $3 a day to get rid of her type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And she's going to save a lot of money because she's got to get rid of the bad foods out of her diet.
Right.
Okay? As well as take the supplements. And within 30 days, they usually go from blood sugars at 240, even with injectable insulin. It's down to like 78 within 30 days. And it stays down as long as they stay on the program. They got to stay on the diet. They got
Okay.
to stay on the supplement program. So it's $3 a day for the rest of their life, which is still they're going to be able
Sure.
to afford their Starbucks coffee.
Believe me, if you can cure someone's,
I can't use
maybe-
that word. It just goes away.
I understand, but people asking questions about autism here. They're
Well, that's
asking
easy to get
questions
rid
about
Autism's
autism is easy to
Yes,
get rid
sir.
of.
I was getting rid of that in the 1970s.
Okay.
Doctors' theory was caused by red food dye. How stupid are they?
Right.
Okay.
Well, the
And so-
M&Ms are back.
Okay. You have to appreciate, I take people who are nonverbal, autistic, ADD, and ADHD all at the same time. They're half the size they should be for their age. In 90 days, they're reading the Bible out loud in church and singing in the choir. And in 1 year's time, they grow 14 inches to catch up with their age peer group in size, okay, just by supplementation and dietary change. Our brains require 90 essential nutrients. Doctors want to give you Ritalin. How much nutrients are in Ritalin? None.
I don't know
Same
the
thing with
answer to that.
PTSD.
Yeah.
PTSD is caused by nutritional deficiencies of the brain, not seeing a dead body in the street. PTSD is caused because our government does not give any of our military personnel in any branch vitamins and minerals. They give them dry food. They give them.
You don't think it has anything to do with what they witnessed in
No,
war?
absolutely not.
Not at all.
No, I spent 25 years in the Army.
I'm going to let Kelly wrap it up here. Kelly, you have to understand, Kelly.
I
Some
do.
major charges are being made,
Absolutely.
and I do not want to be the person that's
Sure.
misdirecting people on their lifespan here, on their
Absolutely.
their
me
lives.
Either. Me either.
That's a very dangerous thing, I think. So.
But I want to just kind of give my feedback. I forget about all of the statements that not forget about those, but aside from all of those statements,
yeah.
one thing I do know, and this is why I invited him here: Alzheimer's disease, dementia, cancer, arthritis, you name the diseases. Maybe you have this about the lifespan, but we certainly aren't healthier. We might be living, but we're living with chronic disease with no help. We go to the doctor and
Right.
we're on drugs, but that does not make us healthy.
Right.
Therefore, this is what has led me to seek for an alternative. And vitamins and minerals, to me, should not be an alternative if they're producing results.
Do you think, though, that these chronic diseases we talk about didn't exist 100 years ago?
That I don't know.
They did. We died from them. We died from those diseases then.
Those chronic diseases still exist in the world because there's areas in the world that don't have these nutrients in the soil.
Right.
Okay? And so just because you're putting wood ash in your garden, remember, plants only require 3 elements. We require 60. Plants require 3 to make good seeds for their generation. So let's say these tribesmen are living in a place where there's only 3 minerals in the soil, and they put the ashes in the garden, they're going to die in their 30s and 40s. They're not in the blue zones. The people in the blue zones, they have all 60 essential minerals in the soil, and they're putting their ashes in the garden, but they're living to be 120.
I'm all with the fact that I'm not sure we eat right and all the chemicals in our foods, all that stuff
We
is
rank
bad.
43rd in the world in longevity. Our longevity sucks.
Got it. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to go through your stuff and your evidence, your data, which to me is important.
We'll
I
start
just
making the ads tomorrow.
feel it's, and believe me, when the proof is there, the proof will be in the pudding. We will do your commercials. I'm not sure I have
You're
the
on.
right to be able to do that, but I might be out on the street
you
corner
don't,
promoting that. I don't have the right, but somehow it always seems to somehow happen. So, all right, Doctor. Again, where can people reach you if they have questions?
Through Miss Kelly here.
Okay, and Kelly, how do they reach you?
My email address is ksprague, SPRAGUE, JJ @gmail.com. Also, if they wanted to look at the 90 for Life program, they could go to kellysprague.youngevity.com.
And you do, I'm sorry, I really am. And you do understand that
Oh,
when
absolutely.
things are said about
absolutely.
our health system, the doctors we rely on and trust.
Enjoy
I know
your
you-
$6,000 deductible.
Okay. All right. Mine isn't quite that bad, but all right. We have no choice but to ask questions.
Of course.
So,
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So maybe we'll do this again.
Okay.
I hope so.
I don't know that Doctor believes that, but maybe we will. Dr. Joel Wallach, thank you so much for your time.
Not even close.
Got a break. Got a break, and we're out of time at WIBX.
Get ready to embrace a new gold standard for wellness with our Nano Balance Tincture. It's formulated with organic, high antioxidant nutrients to help you maintain a healthy balance and bolster your health at the cellular level. Manuka honey provides more antioxidant and antimicrobial effects than any other kinds of honey. Curcumin supports a healthy immune system with its antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. Thyme oil offers additional antioxidant and immune system support. Black pepper provides beneficial antioxidants and supports optimal nutrient absorption. Infuse the benefits of this amazing formula into your daily routine and embrace a happier, healthier you with Nano Balance.